I am more than half British and have that pale pink toned skin. At 7:30 on a Saturday morning in February 2 years ago, he called me. Hi. It is time for me to reapply sunscreen, but I'm also bringing you a story from one of my subscribers. Janice, thank you so much for allowing me to share your story with my viewers. I hope that her story inspires and encourages someone else, just like it did me. Okay. Oh. This is a brand new bottle. Jeez. And it's going everywhere. I think it is very important for us to share our stories with one another. I think it is comforting to hear someone else go through what we have gone through with melanoma skin cancer. There aren't that many stories out there of people who have had melanoma skin cancer. I feel like it's sort of a thing not many people talk about, and I want to make our stories available for more people. Sharing our stories, I think it also helps the next generation learn from our mistakes and learn the importance of sun protection. So this is Janice's story. Hi, I'm so glad we've met. It is comforting to find someone who takes skin cancer seriously. Here is my story. I am more than half British and have that pale pink toned skin. I had freckles when I was younger, which my mother loved. I, of course, hated them. My grandfather, 100% British, worked outdoors all of his life. First as a jockey, then as a plasterer and construction contractor. He had skin cancer, but I don't know what kind. I was too young to care, but I remember him having very white spots on his face. Those must have been where tumors were removed. Fast forward. I knew since there was skin cancer in my family that I should have my skin checked every year. I started doing that when my son was about 6. He's 26 now. The dermatologist never found anything, but I'm covered with moles, so he applauded my carefulness. 4 years later, we moved away to a farther out suburb. It wasn't convenient to go to my dermatologist. I was now mom to 2 kids, and as you know, crazy busy. I was also working and attending grad school. LOL. Having kids, trying to work, and attending grad school, you took on a lot, Janice. I did find a new dermatologist and I hated him. He was so much more interested in cosmetic procedures that he could barely be bothered with me. I found another and didn't like him much either. Eventually I just stopped going and I didn't see another dermatologist for years. In the meantime, I took up running in the prairie near my house. There are no trees in the prairie, and my favorite time to run is the middle of the day. I'm an oddball and love getting really sweaty. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something, but I started getting really big freckles. That's my impression, Janice, of you laughing, okay? They were age spots. At this point, my crappy British skin was 60 years old, but my vanity was still in my 30s. I started using age spot reducing cream on my face. There were big freckles on my cheeks, my forehead, on my right temple, and weirdly a bump near the corner of my left eye that would get irritated, bleed, heal, then get irritated again. Spot on my left temple was kind of bluish, but I didn't get a really good look at it because it's kind of hard to see your temple, but the spot reducing cream didn't do anything for it. I didn't see a big difference on the others either though. Then about 3 years ago, I decided I should get my skin checked because it had been so long. My kids were both grown and independent-ish. Son launched in a good job with his own place and a lousy girlfriend, but that's another story. Daughter in high school. I found a new dermatologist and I love him. He looked over everything very calmly and took a few biopsies. The bluish spot on my temple and the spot that wouldn't heal on near my other eye as well as a few other suspects. At 7:30 on a Saturday morning in February 2 years ago, he called me. He wanted me to get the biopsy results from him, not the MyChart app. See, he's amazing. He does sound like an amazing dermatologist. Mine is the same way, Janice. The spot on my right temple was melanoma in situ. The spot near my left eye was basal cell carcinoma. He reassured me that the melanoma was early and very contained, then gave me the name of the skin cancer surgeon his practice uses. She's a dermatologist specializing in skin cancer surgery and management. Even though it was the beginning of COVID mania, I can't imagine dealing with this at the beginning of COVID. She booked my surgery for the melanoma immediately. I visited her to make the treatment plan, then went back days later for the surgery. Because it wasn't Mohs surgery, she had to excise, send for biopsy, then have me back to close the wound if she had removed enough tissue for clean margins. She took a quarter-sized circle of skin right next to my eye for the first surgery, then sent me home with a hole in my head to wait for the biopsy report. I have pretty cool pictures of the wound if anyone liked to see them, LOL. I get so squeamish with blood. I took care of the wound for 3 or 4 days it took to get the results back. She needed to remove another ½ centimeter slice on the upper left corner of the circle she'd already carved in my head. 4 days later, I went back to have the wound finally closed. I now have a white line extending from the corner of my right eye into my hairline. It's about 2 inches long. The basal cell was done months later using Mohs surgery, so she could check the margins herself in the office. She got it all the first time, but I have another much smaller eye-squinching scar on the left side. At least I'm symmetrical. Janice, you sound like a very positive person. I have gone on way too long. I feel very fortunate that my cancer was found so early and to have found you. Thank you for starting this community. Too many people think that skin cancer is no big deal. It's a big deal when it's you. And that last line of Janice's story really hit home for me. It's a big deal when it's you. Cancer is a big deal when it's you. Janice, thank you so much for sharing your story with me. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your inspiration to all of us here on YouTube. If you would like your melanoma or your skin cancer story shared with my viewers, please email me. I would love to continue sharing these stories. My email is right here on the screen or linked in the description box down below. And if you missed Kristen's story from last week, I will link it right here in a card for you to watch after this one, and my story will be linked right here for you to watch after that. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. I almost forgot to show you what sunscreen I was applying to my body if you were curious.